G'day folks, welcome to a Monday afternoon. Just going to do a little bit of Q&A, and actually I'll turn that fan off. That is what was making all that noise, and that's also why I don't suffocate in here when I run engines and things. That's one question that comes up a bit actually. It's one of the Q&A things is it safe to run engines and shit inside the shed and do all the smoky experiments and things? And well, that fan is what's been keeping me alive. It's a big, roughly 760mm Flaktwoods axial, 12 blades, belt driven by a 3/4 horsepower motor. So with the belt reduction drive and decrease in RPMs, it's still got about 3 horsepower spinning it over. So I could probably even increase the pitch on those blades a little bit. They're all adjustable. You loosen the clamp plate bolts off and you can twist them notch by notch to get more pitch. But yeah, it does a very good job of it with the front door open to draw air through. Now that one's out of the way. What other Q&A did we have? There was one on the generating, or diesel electric generating set. A lot of people asked what voltage it was putting out. And the reason I posted it as I said non-functional in the description was that it's not actually generating. It runs, it spins, but that's about it. So at the moment it's still an electric motor, and I want to convert it from an electric motor to a generator. Not that there's anything really to do inside the motor. It's a standard induction motor, but I believe you can still turn them into generators. I'll look that up later. I believe it involves capacitors, and they're wired in star or delta, one of the two. I'll have to look it up and what value capacitors and things. If I want to get 415 volts, I'm going to need some pretty high voltage capacitors, I imagine. That motor only wires in star as well, so there's only 3 terminals on the block, and they're all set up permanently wound in star, so I can't actually convert it to delta, which is a bit of a shame because you need delta, I believe, to do RPCs and or rotary phase converter, that is, and that sort of stuff. As for vacuum experiments, I'm pretty much done with them until I can get a nice big bell jar or something to play with. The guy gave me the idea of vac pumping a 44-gallon drum and rotary comp tech. He works with HVAC and a lot of serious industrial compressor systems and things. Well worth subscribing to. Yeah, he just posted this video playing with vacuum and its effects on water and styrofoam and ice and stuff like that. It's quite entertaining. So yeah, if you want to see that sort of thing, see water boil at atmospheric temperature, I'll post the link in the description. What else was there? A few people ask for video games and Steam stuff, but I rarely play. I think yesterday was probably the most I've played any kind of game. I was playing Terraria pretty much all day. It was a stinking hot day and I was exhausted from the days before, so I played Terraria all day. And that was a load of fun because I actually dug down far enough to find hell, and I died horribly. So I'm going to have to work on my armour. I'm going to defeat the Eye of Cthulhu first and maybe the Eater of Worlds, and then I'll move on to the hell level or the dungeon or something like that. I made the mistake of spawning a large world, and it is genuinely large. You've got to dig down about 5,000 feet to reach hell, and once you get to the bit where there's lava, you can't just dig straight down or you'll die. So it's really tricky. So I was never able to make a proper elevator, but there's just little detours and steps and things, so you just got to stop and start, go across a bit and then drop. But a true elevator is, well, what it says, it's a direct drop straight down to hell. Best to have the lucky horseshoe trinket there, which stops or alleviates falling damage. I don't have one yet, so every time I fall too far I hurt or die. Yeah, still a fun game to do. I would like to do some collab with somebody one day, but I don't think I'd be able to talk Brad into playing it. I think he likes first-person shooters. Saints Row the Third would be fun to do a collab with Brad. I think we'd get into a lot of trouble. Oh god, it wouldn't be child-friendly. We'd have to get a PG or R classification on that one. That's a crazy game. What else was there? Yes, it's been raining like mad for the last 12 hours, which is a bit of a change from the 30-something degree, 40-degree days we've had for the last week. So everything's wet. I had to run outside yesterday afternoon and put a cover over the control cabinet. The funny thing is, I didn't strip this out on the weekend because it was like an oven inside. Like you couldn't even touch the top plate. And now it is that cold and wet, I don't want to come out here either. It's standing in water. But yeah, everything looks pretty good. It's just this motor controller got drenched initially. It's only a piss out little thing. Oriental motor controller. So yeah, I'll work on stripping this little gem out next weekend, I think. They're not in any hurry to get it back, and I think one of the guys at the scrapyard wants the top plate as a barbecue plate. But he's going to have trouble getting a lot of that stuff off because it's all fully TIG welded and welded to pieces of what looks like 5mm thick angle iron. Really big chunky stuff, so that'd be one kick-ass barbecue plate, but he's going to have fun getting it out. Unless of course keep it all as one piece and build the barbecue inside it. Then you'd essentially have an oven and a barbecue. It'd be interesting. Industrial grade cooker. I mean, I've seen better out of some of the industrial bakeries and things. But yeah, that's a 1/2 inch thick, if not more, maybe 16mm thick. Either way. Yeah, wet inverter, doesn't matter. It's all rubbish. Yeah. So it's cold, it's wet. Well, it's not that cold, it's just wet and humid. And yes, we had a bit of fun with the old vacuum pump. That was good fun. Yeah, a bit of filler material I'll upload during the week or maybe next week. Stuff for rainy days, I call it. Equipment Autopsy PlayStation 2. That's done and dusted. I do still have the power supply and control board for it, so if anyone's desperate for spare parts, I could probably ship you one of these bits, but this thing was really well used. Like, I wouldn't trust a laser or anything out of it. Hell, it's probably already had a replacement laser in it. So yeah, that's where we're at. Also picked up a little Chevron branded mini air conditioner today. Okay, Woolworths, that's the old Woolworths logo on it. Canadian built, 5,500 BTU, little baby thing. And this thing we'll look at in a separate video too. Front of the block sort of looks like a Briggs & Stratton. So you turn it around and it's got an odd cowling and a Villiers carburetor on it with a traditional Villiers on-off switch. Yeah, it's like a bastard child between a Villiers and Briggs & Stratton love affair. Like, there's bits of everything on this. No names or anything embossed on it as far as I can see. Yeah, we'll have a look at that in a separate video. It's got compression. Don't know if it's got spark. That's probably half the reason it got turfed. Very typical of these old Villiers to do their coils. I think both of mine, since I've had them, have both done their coils. At least the Mark 12 has anyway. Mark 12/2, which I restored really nice with all the cowlings and everything on it, just doesn't get spark under compression anymore. So I've got to pull it to bits and either change the condenser, or maybe that can just be a project for someone else. I'm sick of the things. But this one's just kind of unique, so I grabbed it. But yeah, I might have a Villiers engine clean out eventually. I'll have to contact the people who were originally interested in them, unless they see this in time. But yeah, it's originally set up like that for this carburetor. It's not just bolted onto a Briggs. It's not a Briggs & Stratton. Looks like a Villiers style head too. Yeah, anyway, I've gone on long enough for today. The compressor. I'm still going to have to pull the back corner of the shed apart again, because as soon as I start coming over here I can still smell dead mouse or rat. So yeah, I think I missed the actual one. I don't know how that other one managed to decay as much as it could before without even being noticed. But whatever other one's decaying, I can notice that. If I go stick my head down in that corner there, it's bad. So that's what the fan's all about tonight. Yeah, that's the one that's a bit crook. It's a shame. It's in nice condition. I've restored it nicely, but it's just been sitting around so long. It's just got little scrapes and bruises on it. But yeah, and that's the overhead valve one. Never found a cowling for that. I'm sure they are around, but never ran right either. I just couldn't get it to run properly. Spare carburetor. Yeah, we'll look at those again one day. Maybe when I do that other Villiers. Might sell them as a collector's set. I've got to get rid of some of these engines because I just don't have time for them anymore. It'd be nice to have an engine rally day or something like that, but still, nah. time to move them on. Like I've already moved a few of them on. Jay the Aussie has a couple of them, and other people who are around at the right time. Anywho, still got a couple more vacuum experiments too. I want to try and pop one of these. Might be tricky, but who knows. The rectangular shape is not the best for withstanding vacuum. Not at all. Oh, that's all for this afternoon. I'm going to tidy up. I'm going to test that little Chevron air conditioner and post a separate video of that. And I'm probably going to go inside and relax. Because quite frankly, I've been flat out for the last few weeks. I was lucky to get last Friday off, so yeah. Thanks for watching.